Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. You are back again with Teacher Hallyda on another online class session. Okay, although this class is recorded specifically for students of Bachelor of Quranic and Sunnah Studies, Semester 3, who's taking the subject BIS4022 English for Professionals. Other students are welcome to watch as well and hope you can learn something from it. Okay. This week we are going to cover on the topic of writing and resume. Okay, so let's recap a bit what we covered last week. We focus on how you can describe the job that you are applying. Okay, every time you apply for a job and you have to prepare a resume, of course you have to lay out your experience, your involvement, and I put emphasis on the use of verb in your descriptions. Okay, make sure you have a clear verbs, make sure whatever jobs or experience you are describing, you use the correct tense. Okay, past tense and present tense. Okay, you make sure you visit the notes and slides on that as well. So this week we are going to focus more on what to put, what kind of informations that you should put in your resume. Yeah, let's start with the main points that you should have in your resume. Okay, today we'll be looking at how you can prepare or write or draft your own career objective or personal summary. You have a choice actually to put either career objective or personal summary. And then we are going to, you have to of course include your education background, your level of education, the location, the year that you graduate and everything. And then if you have any, your work experience. And next one is your involvement in societies or activities. This one is very crucial if you are a fresh grad student. Next, we're going to look at if you have any honors or awards, you must put it in your resume. Okay, it's a plus point. Your skills, your personal qualities, and lastly, your references. Okay, so let's look at one by one. Let's start with career objective. Okay, how to write a career objective. First of all, you have to know that a good career objective must be convincing, meaning it cannot be too over the top, too elaborative, too long, or something that is not realistic. Okay, and in your career objective, you basically inform the employer, your potential boss, your potential employers about what you, the applicant, can do, what is the scope of your expertise, and how you can benefit the organization. Okay, so let's look at the structure. Okay, for information, this structure is taken from the textbook. So you can also refer to the textbook. I think you need 3. Okay, the first one is when we start with an infinitive. An infinitive here means we start with the word to. Okay, bear in mind we are trying to draft a statement here. Statement means a sentence, but very short one. Okay, so you can start with you can start with this kind of infinitive to utilize, and then you move on with a noun phrase to utilize my work experience in whatever is your area of specialization in Islamic affairs with what will be the company, with an established organization that, and then you continue with the verb. What do you think the company that you're applying can offer you that offer better prospect and expectations, for example. So when you bring all of that, you will get one complete statement. To, for example, here, to apply my knowledge and skills in Islamic banking with an established organization that offers more challenges and opportunities to grow. So you have here what you're looking for, Okay, you have here what you're looking for, what you can do. Okay, meaning what you can do here to apply my knowledge, meaning what you think you can do, you can apply your knowledge and skill. And then what will be your scope? In this case, your area of specialization is either Islamic banking, Quranic and Sunnah studies, Tahfiz education, Quranic education, depends. Okay, and then how the applicant can benefit the organization. Okay, so basically here you mention that the reason that you can benefit is because maybe you can learn something from the challenge and opportunities to grow. In this example, you can highlight what you think the company can give you. Why you choose this company? Okay, maybe because you feel like this organization or this company can offer you more challenge and opportunities. And as you can see, there are many ways on how you can draft the objective statement. Okay, and it's just that you make sure that, like I said, it sounds convincing. Okay, for example, if you feel like you don't have that much work experience, so don't say to apply my work experience. Just because it's there doesn't mean you can just take copy and paste. This is just a guideline for you. So make sure when you read the career objective, it's not too over the top. It basically describes you and what you're looking for. And it basically describes what the company is looking for. Okay. And then another example is when you start with a noun. Just now when you start with an infinitive to what? Your objective is to apply, to use, to cut. Okay. So another example here is when you can start with a noun. Okay. A noun here means you start with what you're looking for. Basically, your objective, like you're looking for a position in what? Okay, so basically in a specific position that you are applying, plus what you can do to the employer. Okay, for example, here is a position in. Okay, choose one. It's based on it depends on the position that you're applying. It lies under what kind of industry, and then what you think the employer can offer you. Sorry, what you think you can do for the employer. For example, here to apply a position. Okay, same. It's like you are combining infinitive with a noun. Okay, it's supposed to be a position in the publishing industry. Let's say you're applying for a position of a writer or an editor or research assistant in a publication industry, or you want to be a writer. Okay, a position in the publishing industry where I can utilize my organizational communication and writing skills. So the last part is when you highlight your strong point, what you can offer to the company. You feel like you have these three things: organizational skill, communication skill, writing skills, and you feel like these three skills can benefit the company. So you put that in your career objective. Okay. Another example here is almost the same. This time you highlight your skills and a specific area of expertise. Okay, you still start with a noun, a position as what kind of position you're applying, and then you highlight a specific area of expertise or interest that you are looking for. Okay, for example, here to apply a position as a research assistant. So it would be better if here when you mention the position, it matches to uh, the job advertisement that you are applying. Okay, that allows me to use my knowledge and skills in the field work and the laboratory. Meaning, when we see this kind of objective, it's clear that your goal is you want to be your interest is in research. That's your specific area of expertise or interest. You are interested in doing research, so that's applying for a research assistant, and then you feel like you have your knowledge and skills in the field and the laboratory. You feel like you have this kind of experience. That's why you are applying. So you include that in your career objective, so that we know that it matches what your experience match with the position you're applying, and as a whole, that will be your goal. Okay. And then another one is this one is almost the same as well. You start with a noun, a position, and then what kind of position you are applying, and a name of the specific position. Sorry, supposed to be ada satu je kat sini. And then your professional goal. Okay, this one is suitable if you have been working for quite some time and you are looking for something even more to improve your career. Okay, this is suitable for those who have been working for years, who have a lot of working experience, years of working experience. So they're looking for something new. They want to grow themselves. Okay, so you include your professional goal and why do you think that company, why do you choose that company? What do you think that company can offer you? Okay, for example, to apply a position as a halal executive with opportunities to discover new career challenges in an institution that places high priority on customer satisfaction, initiative, and quality performance. As you can see here, this kind of objective is tailored to match what the company is looking for. Most of the elaborations are what the company has, or what do you think the company can offer. High priority on customer satisfaction, initiative, and quality performance. Meaning you want to work at the company that have these three criteria, and you feel like this company has that. Okay, so in a way, this is like pickup lines, a professional pickup lines that you give to a specific company that you are targeting. Okay, but we do it professionally and with politely. Okay. Okay, now that's it for career objective. However, I forgot to include notes on personal summary. I think I will show you examples of how to write a personal summary statement in our next class. Okay, so let's move on to the second thing that you need to include in your resume, which is your educational background. So as a fresh graduate, it's best to state your educational background immediately after your career objective, meaning this will be the first thing that the employers will see. Anyone who has your resume would see. Okay, it will be the top column. It will be at the top column, the first column. Okay, and when writing your educational background, make sure you indicate your qualifications, your area of specialization, your expected date of graduation if you haven't graduated yet and is about to maybe, and college. And there are two formats. The first one is when you have a single column where you just combine everything so close to each other, where you put it in one box. Okay, expected to graduate, and then when, and then the name of your qualification, the name of the degree, your related coursework means your related subject. Meaning related here means you only write subjects that you think would be beneficial to the job that you are applying. You don't have to include all kind of subjects that you're learning or you have been learning. And then another example is another format is double column, where you divide the informations into two. You arrange the years in the different column and other details in another column. I prefer the second format, where I can, because it's easy for me to see the timeline of your life, basically your career, your academic life. Okay, I would see starting from when until when that you were students, and then during that time, what did you do, what have you done so far, what are you doing at the moment. Okay, so it's easy for me to divide the informations. I have all the informations necessary on the left side columns, and on the right side column is for me to see the duration, the time you took to study and everything. Okay, so for example here you list down to your educational background starting from the recent one. Please everyone start with the most recent one. So if your highest qualification is degree, so you put your degree qualification first. Okay, the name of the degree, and then here if you haven't graduated yet, so put here 2021 until now. Okay, or you can put that expected to graduate here under the left side column, when expected to graduate when. For our class is just you can assume that you have graduated. You can do so, no problem. You can either write expected to graduate in February 2022. Okay, February 2022, in few more months. So you are considered a fresh graduate. Okay, and then that one is for educational background. And let's say you want to also include your work experience, your training experience, internship experience, industrial training experience, any kind of experience. Okay, so please include that under the bullet work experience, or you can just write involvement. Involvement maybe later lah. This one we focus on work experience. So include anything that you have, and state the name of the position, specific tasks and skills acquired. Okay, this is what we have been learning for the past few weeks, right? This is what we discussed last week. Meaning when you identify your own skill, remember you try to identify your own skills, soft skill, hard skill, your qualities, and I ask you to gather as many information as you can about your involvement for the past few years, at least since you were in your diploma years. And then when you list down all the positions that you were once hold, you described the tasks that you had to do when you held the positions. Okay, so you have to include that in your resumes, and start with the most recent. Same thing with your work experience. Start with the most recent post held. If right now you are still working part-time as a Quranic tutor, write that down. Okay, Quranic tutor 2020 until now. Okay, you can write it down. Start with the most recent date, organized in descending order, and then you can start recent to the previous one. Okay. Okay, this will be an example. If you want to put it, still we have certain format for this. Let's say this is an example of how you can write the wording. May, July 2010, trainee at where? SM Sultan Ismail, Kuala Terengganu. This is just an example of how you do the wording. You might write it differently in your resume, depend on the layout or template that you use. Okay, if you want to put it as a double column format also can. Okay, where you arrange the location, to the position on the left side and the year on the right side. Okay, so this is an example. In this case, we have we have three examples of involvement. First, he or she here was, she's still a temporary English teacher, okay, until now. And she used to be a trainee at SM Sultan Sulaiman until went from when until when. And then she also worked as a kitchen assistant at Pizza Hut Ipoh. Okay, this is not my examples. This is happened to be here in Ipoh. Okay. And then, okay, I think I've shown this before, but I would like to show it as again as well, because it is important for you to highlight, to use a clear action verb, a suitable one, to highlight your accomplishment that will prompt your employer to know more about you. Like I said, don't be afraid to use strong word to highlight your strong points. Okay, if clearly you are holding, or you have once hold a position uh, as a president, as a leader, as a class representative, course representative, batch representative, anything related to leadership, don't be afraid to use this kind of a verb. You can use the word direct. Direct here means you give a lot of orders, a lot of instructions. Delegate. Delegate means you control people. You organize people. Initiate. You are the one who always give ideas first. You are the one who always ask people question first. Who communicate with other people and who took the initiative to solve the issue if you notice anything wrong. Motivate. You, if you notice your friends, your group members were who feeling down, you are the one who motivate them, so you have the leadership skill. Okay. And if you are someone who like to work with people, okay, you can use the word supervise, counsel, administer. Dealing with data, you are someone who, if you were once a secretary or treasurer, you have to deal with a lot of data information. You can use the word evaluate. Using words, meaning your jobs or your involvements uh, involve a lot of communication with other people. You like to talk, you're very talkative, you're very friendly. So there are words or suitable verbs to describe you. Okay. And this one is key skill. I mean, for key skill, anyone can use this. Okay. Schedule, serve, perform, implement. Okay. Okay, now, what about when you don't really have that much working experience? So it's time for you to highlight your involvements in the universities or in your college. Okay, so you have to highlight whatever societies or clubs and activities that you were involved in. Okay, for graduating students, this section is important to inform the employers of the applicant's ability to handle responsibility and work with others. Okay, these are some of the examples. Again, I took this from the book. This is how it was written. Okay, it started with the year. This is optional. You can also put the year at the right side column, no problem. Okay, if you want to save space, it's up to you. Depend on the template again. Okay, you start with the year and then you mention, and then you write the position. This is very important. You need to be consistent. Both of these points, okay, start with the year or duration, the year, the position, and then you have bullets, small bullets here. These are the job descriptions, the task descriptions, or the responsibilities related to the position you mention here. Okay, and you must use the same format, the same organization for other points as well. Okay, start with the year 2009 until 2010. Second one pun start with the year 2008, 2009. And then the second part, you move on with the position Secretary of Student Representative Council. Here it doesn't state any position, because why? For the second one here is basically this person achievement or awards. Okay, so let's say you have one or more points here. You are a secretary and then you are a treasurer or you are a president. So same format. Okay, prepared monthly report. See, you use past tense because it's in the past. Organize campaign. Start with a verb, prepared and organized. But the second one here, this person wanted to highlight his achievement, let's say, okay, in sports. So first, you start with university representative in several games. Okay, meaning you just represent but you didn't win. Still, you mention here is what you achieve. The second one, you start with how to say, your verb. Okay, and you won. So you say won best striker, won bronze medal, awarded best athlete. Okay, let's say you didn't win all the time. It's okay. Okay, you can put second place. You can put participated. Participated, meaning you are a participant, you participate, but you did not win anything, still can. Okay. And then these are other examples. Basically, you start with the position or the post. You were a committee member of what? What would be the name of your club? You were coach for what? You were tutor for what? What would be the course? What would be the name of the class? If, okay, we have two options here. If you want to start with the post, be consistent, just highlight the post. Post, treasurer of the student council, coach for the football team. But if you want to start with the verb, you start from the top and from the start until the end. You start with the verb only. Took part in Terengganu Bridge Run, attended, even if you attended a seminar, international, national seminar or webinar, you can also include that as long as it's related to your background. Okay, presented, let's say you presented a paper before, you can also include that as well. Okay, next one is your skill. We have discussed this. I advise you not to put too much soft skill because soft skill cannot be measured. Okay, just put 1 or 2 points on soft skill. Okay, and some templates of resumes, they divided the resume into several columns. The first one is soft skill. This second one is hard skill. If you apply, if you're, for engineering graduate students, they will have third column for machinery skills. Okay, meaning they list down what kind of machines that they have experience operated in. Okay, so in your case, you can just include 1 or 2 soft skills. The rest will be your hard skill, your IT skill. If you just put there, ada contoh ke sini. Tak ada pula. If you put like, for example, you say good communication skill and hardworking and presentable. It might be true, but it's very difficult to prove. It cannot be measured. How do we know whether you really are presentable or whether you really have good communication skill? Okay, you can add 1 or 2. Don't overdo it. Okay, and this one, okay, we have gone through this, the difference between adjective and noun phrase in our previous class, right? You can use this in your resume, but as well as in your job interview later. Okay. Okay, and the last one is when you include your references. Okay, a resume references is someone who can vouch for your character and confirms all the information you provided in your resume, meaning you need to have someone who can validate all your criteria, your achievements, someone who can vouch. Vouch means someone who can cover you. Okay, the best people to act as references for new graduates will be your college professor or your supervisor during your internship and training program. Someone who really know your potential. Okay, it's either to inform your referees about your intention. It's better if you inform them first that you're about to put their name, their informations in your resume so that they are alert whether, and they might be reluctant, they might not allow, who knows. Okay, so it's important if you put that as well. But sometimes there are candidates who refuse to put any references and they just put available upon request, meaning if the company wants some references, they would call you. But this one is I don't know, it is suggested in the textbook, but I'm not sure whether it is practical or not in reality. Okay, they might want some references, but I think there's nothing wrong if you just put 1 or 2 references. Okay, it could be your lecturers, your supervisors, your direct supervisors. If you have a homegrown teacher, that will be good as well. But make sure it's the references are someone who is from your college years lah, not from your school. Okay. Okay. Now I will show you more examples from the notes from the textbook. Okay, this is what I asked you to do last week. This is supposed to be your task this week, where you list down your work experience, your involvements in anything, okay, your achievement, write down the information and the description of the task. Okay, this will be one example. If you have more, you prepare more, okay, so that you can put it in your resume. What I want you to be careful of is the use of the verb. Make sure the use of the verb is correct, grammatically correct. Use the right tense. If it's in the past, no longer happen now. You're no longer the English tutor here. You have to use past tense. If you have any internship experience, put that as well. Although you might say, teacher, it's only 3 months, but 3 months internship, it's still useful for fresh graduate. And then these will be examples on how you draft your work experience. We want clear information. So if you have the name of the company, put the name of the company that you were working with, you worked before. What else I want to show you? Okay, this is an example if you are still, if you include a work experience that you're still doing, that you still hold this position. So you use present continuous, okay, monitoring students, assisting students, examining laboratory notebooks. Okay, so very simple the format. You can use this format as well. You have the position teaching assistant, you have the location where at University of Malaya, and you have the year, and you have all these task descriptions. Okay, how many task descriptions that you need to put? Not too much. Okay. If you feel like you don't have that many points, that meaning that many involvement or work experience, you can elaborate more. You can have at least 3 for each point. But if you feel like you have a lot of experience related to the job that you're applying, maybe 1 or 2 job descriptions for each point. The 1 or 2 descriptions for each point. But make sure you describe it clearly. Okay. This one is an example if it's in the past tense. Okay. This is more verbs for you to be used. Okay. Okay, this is an example. Like I said, if you want to highlight the position that you are holding or you held before, even if you're the facilitator or just a member, you can include that as well. This is an example of how you elaborate your extracurricular activities. Let's say you don't have you cannot really categorize. It's meets up. You have 1 point on sports. You have 1 point on debate or public speaking. You have another point on volunteerism. You can include that. Okay. Actually, this one is an exercise. It has three styles of writing it. The first one here, I'm trying to see the difference. I noticed the difference here. The first one is when you highlight the position: university representative, committee member, student reporter, participant. This is why I say consistency and parallelism, meaning you have to be consistent. If you start with the position, you continue with the same point for other bullets. Okay, consistent. These all are what we call position that you held before. And then this one also secretary of, member of, participant. Okay, so this one also the position that you were secretary, participant. The third one is when you elaborate in detail. Let's say for these two examples, these candidates clearly have a lot of extracurricular activities that he or they can put in the resume. So that's why they listed this way. But let's say you only have like one or two. So this is how you do it. You mention, you put the year, the position. You were an MC that one time. Oh, sorry lah saying it. Okay, you were an MC that time, but you elaborate the task that you had to do as an MC. Check all audio, announced the arrival, greeted the audience, made introductory remarks. See, you presented speech. You're just an MC, but you elaborate that one particular involvement clearly and thoroughly. Just okay, and you use a clear verb. You check the audio equipment, although you're MC, but you still check the audio equipment, right? Because although you're just checking the microphone and anything, but you still have to check. You do a run trial, the rehearsals. You were involved in that. So you announced the arrival, you greeted the audience, and introduced guests of honors. You made introductory remarks. All of these might seem like biasa je. It's just what MC is supposed to do. But this elaboration shows that you are someone who are extrovert. Sorry, who are not shy, who can present themselves in front of the public, who clearly are confident. Okay, all of these are very important qualities that employers are looking for. Okay, so we have two technique, or we call it ways you can elaborate your extracurricular activity. Same with working experience. Let's say you only have one working experience and it's not that long, you feel that, but use that wisely, explain it clearly, use the correct verb. Okay, so we have one more example here. Assisted, distributed. Okay, look at here. This candidate, this was only a volunteer, but this candidate clearly uh, gave informations about the program that he volunteered in. He was a volunteer for an earthquake relief team. Under what? Here, UMT Police Undergraduate Volunteer Corps, SUCSIS rupanya. Okay, where? Padang, Indonesia. Okay, so if you involved in a lot of volunteerism program, yeah, so use this kind of verb: assisted, distributed, located, and reunited family members. Console. All of these are verbs related to people present. Clearly, you're someone who are very good at communicating with people. Okay, dealing with people, giving help to people. Okay. Okay, I think for this one, I'm going to cover in our next class. I have mentioned a bit about this, but I feel like this one, you might have more questions, and because it's related to grammar as well. If you are wondering what this is, you can check your book and you can revisit our lesson when I explain about the difference between verbs and adjectives. Remember punctual and punctuality, when to use punctual, when to use punctuality in a sentence. Okay, so this is what is it about. You have to use the correct verbs and adjectives in your resume as well. So we're going to learn more about noun, phrase, verbs and adjective in our next class. So basically, that's it for my explanations on preparing or writing resume. So for this week, just focus on gathering information about your work experience, your involvements, any awards that you have received, and these points as well, the one on the screen. You can start drafting your objective. Okay, your career objective is supposed to be very short and straightforward. Your education background, your work experience, if any, or gather all the informations here, and then in next class we can see how you can put it in a template, or you can put it in one page. Okay, so my suggestion is to start drafting your resume so that there will be something that you can show me in the next class. Okay, so I think that's it for today's session on writing a resume. I'm gonna post this recording on our Google Classroom. So if you have any questions for next week, feel free to contact me or leave comments under this video. Okay, so that's it, everyone. Till we meet again. Stay safe and goodbye.